And yet, for some reason, my comment section was shut off, like it often does. I'm so unafraid of the comment section. I'm so unafraid of being wrong that I had this feed that in 20 minutes had over nine, almost 1,000 views in 20 minutes. And a consistent 50 viewers throughout. But the comment section was shut off. From my you guys could comment. It seems to be how it works pretty often. Where at some point, the comment section gets shut off. It never happens straight from the beginning. But, well, I can't say never anymore. They're desperately trying to push this black versus white thing, which is time-tested. You know, this always works.
No, I'm not racist, but... No, I'm not racist, but... No, I'm not racist.
That's white people. No, I'm not racist, but... No, wait, no. I'm not racist, but... Whenever somebody says, no, I'm not racist, but... You know they're about to say some racist shit.
Being a happy...
I wish eternal sunshine was true. That way I would cleanse myself of you. I'd be spotless and trade the good for bad. How do you give away the best you ever had? Sunshine. I need some sunshine. Sunshine. Oh boy, are they doing it again? Is this like the thing today? Is the comment section just gonna be shut off? What's that? Why would that be happening? Other than desperately trying to not let the happy talk about the race war that they're trying to bring up. It really does seem like they're trying to stoke that shit. And the more that, you know, I mean, obviously the more, like, you have to look at the source. Yeah. Where does our news come from? Oh, sweet. We do have comments. I have to physically type you in even though I'm subbed, and it knocks me off. What's going on? Never got that you were even on here. Why do you think it is? I mean, you're asking the question. I don't know if you're asking it for other people, but you know, do you understand what it is? That doesn't happen with other people, right? So why do you think that happens with me? You know, other than I'm right, what else can you give me? Like this whole thing with Charlie is so just so wild at this point. Oh, you're messing with me? Oh, well, okay. That's on you. I mean, you sure are specifically saying something that happens. But hey, whatever. These are the people that are here every day for hours at a time. Must be doing something terribly wrong. You know, this Charlie thing is just, it's wild, man. It really is wild. Like, what have you seen that makes you believe the narrative we've been told? Did you guys hear that the shooter, just like the shooter in the fake Trump shooting bullshit, had no social media footprint? Hey, did you hear that, chubby girl? The supposed Kirk shooter, just like the supposed Trump shooter, had zero social media footprint. Yes. Young guy. 22. Again, another 22, 20. What? I think that was the same age as the Trump guy, right?
I don't know. Did you see the thing I sent you?
No, I'm live.
Dickhead went to England and the fucking British public full of donations. He's staying at some Windsor Castle.
Oh, I'm making shit up. What am I making up there, dumbass?
He's staying at the Windsor Castle. So the public had this ginormous, they had the picture of him and Epstein blown up. Like, huge. And they had it all laid out on the track of the castle.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I'm to me, Epstein shit is just a huge distraction. Yeah, I don't think he cares. But come on, dumbass, tell me he had no social media footprint. He didn't. You dumb shit. Neither one of them did. Neither one of these 20-somethings had a social media footprint. Who's making what up? See, the funniest thing is, like so many of you white guys, you angry white guys, you've already decided, it's weird. It's not like you're going, oh, it's a white guy that killed Charlie, and that must make white people bad. Like you would with anyone else. You know, you're trying to say it's a trans thing, and it's all this other shit. And it's fucking silly. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, people can only have pictures if they have a social media footprint. Prior to social media, people couldn't take pictures. Yeah. Look at this shit, man. And again, this idea that the shooter changed his clothes, got up on the thing, assembled the weapon, changed his clothes, or did the shooting, hid the weapon, jumped down, disassembled the weapon, jumped down because he doesn't have it in his hands, ran off, changed his clothes again, back to the original clothes, assembled his weapon so he could leave it there with the bullet still in the fucking chamber, the casing still in, like, it's literally as dumb as it gets. Where did the people who created the entire narrative to begin with get the pictures of the actor? Gee, I don't know. They couldn't get any pictures. Like I say, it's not like his family would have social media, or if it's true, or, there could be pictures outside of Facebook. I know there's no pictures of me outside of Facebook. And why isn't anybody talking about his shirt? I still don't understand this thing. Like this is, well, I'm not saying nobody, but why isn't the system explaining to us what was going on with his shirt? What was the thing under his shirt? I'd love to hear that explanation. The thing that was under his shirt, the black dot that then moved across his chest and up his neck. You can literally see it go up his neck. Oh, look, we have somebody with a dumb Jewish last name talking shit. Go research that, get back to me. Get back to you, because you're a punk ass bitch. Why should I, these are all dumb fucking friars, man. These are just friars and they can't help but prove the point. These are the people that are going to stoke the fire. This is Team Jorge. This is Act IL. This is any number of imitations out there. All of you people out there crying about Charlie Kirk didn't deserve to die just for expressing his opinions. He doesn't deserve to die for championing genocide. It's okay for him to call for the death of other people. But for him to have it, well, that's just not acceptable. He's white. Don't I understand that he's a white guy? And white guys should get special treatment. I know you don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk. That's the point. The Jews don't care about Charlie Kirk. They made Charlie Kirk to be assassinated. Well, not assassinated. I can't even say that shit. He wasn't assassinated. There's a great Chris Rock bit where he's talking about Tupac. And he's talking about how people keep saying Tupac was assassinated. And he's like, he wasn't important enough to be assassinated. They murdered that nigga, blah, blah, like that. His whole joke. But that's the same thing with Charlie. Charlie wasn't assassinated because Charlie wasn't that important. But you have to make it more grand than it actually is, doesn't it? What death did he call on? Oh, I don't know. Like anybody that supports Israel, even a little bit, is calling for death. Why? Because Israel is all about that killing, all about that death. Interesting how now that the comments work, the numbers are way down. This dude is literally the worst father, no job, the worst partner, not a provider, and a total deadbeat loser. Yep. Yep. And that, if that's even true, we'll say it's true, that takes away from genocide. How? That takes away from you schmeckle suckers. How? You Matitza Bepe pedos. How does that take away from how does anything I do even come close to comparing to what your disgusting pedo cult does? Oh, now I'm buffering. What the fuck are you talking about? Who did he say needs to die specifically? Oh, so now we need specific names. Oh, well then, yeah, that makes sense. Because he doesn't know all those people that he was, supporting being genocide. He doesn't know their names, so that doesn't matter. Palestine doesn't exist. Palestine, I don't know what you're talking about. Palestine doesn't exist. Yup. He's still allowed to voice his opinion. Oh, is he? Is he allowed to voice his opinion? Would you say the same thing if he wasn't a white Israel fucking stooge? Because it seems like somebody like me that's voicing their opinion about Israel, you guys have a real problem with that. I'm not allowed to talk bad about the Jews or about Israel, but Charlie can talk bad about everyone else, and that's okay. I bet none of you keyboard warriors would talk shit in a public space. Well, I mean, what does that mean? So in a public space, like in a Charlie Kirk setting, did you see what happened when somebody started exercising free speech? Like, this is literally, Ray Brown is proving just how stupid they are, right? You're saying that Charlie Kirk should be allowed his free speech. But if somebody says something against Charlie Kirk, well, then we're going to get him. Did you see the guy that got beat up by those people in the candlelit vigil? Because he was saying, fuck Charlie Kirk, free speech. But that's not okay, right? That's not okay. Guy assumes too much. Yep, I assume too much. I assume too much. Keyboard tough guy like you. Exactly. Ooh, you got called out there, good old Ray. Do you think all of these same people would have been R.I.P. Charlie if Charlie was full on against Israel? Do you think these Jews would be really supporting Charlie if he was actually against Israel and not just playing a role? For the record, I hate Israel and don't like Charlie Kirk. Really? So then it's the pedophile thing that has you so upset? That must be it, huh? Because see, if you ask these same fucking clowns, well, why is it that you obsess over me then? What is it that has you coming here day after day after day, hour after hour, month after month? And then if I block your profile, you make a new one. What motivates you? What has you so motivated? What has you so upset? Because you seem pretty upset. Well, that don't make no sense. Oh, here we go. Trying to get rid of a pedophile. Joined 11 months ago, has no subscribers. Decided to fly the pedo flag. Go figure. Didn't lick the guy, but he did not deserve to die like he did. Free speech is everything, and he was entitled to express his views as an American citizen. Uh-huh. Again, these are the same white people that cry every time a black person tries to point out the racism. These are the same white people that say that Trump, people opposed to Trump shouldn't be allowed to talk, and trans people aren't allowed to have rights, and gay people aren't allowed to have rights. But straight white Christian, Charlie, who never called out the church for raping children, he's good. I assume you heard what Candace Owens said. I don't give a fuck what Candace Owens said. I wouldn't know about Candace Owens if they didn't want me to. There's a difference between you and I. I like, not stupid, one, but I don't fall for it. Just because the person is saying the right things doesn't mean they're not part of the gang. If they give us our opposition, then they control what that opposition says. That way, no organic person rises up. Ouch. No sense, Dane. You need to look up. I thought you weren't mad, Adam. Remember, Adam made his profile 3 days ago. 3 days ago, and now he's here crying and crying for hours on end. We should respect your opinion, but shit on everyone else. That's what I just said. I was like, you should respect my opinion and shit on everyone else's. Because, see, Randy is really, really dumb. I actually think Randy might be a real person, not just a fucking bot. He's so stupid, he actually, you know, he's this weird, stupid pedophile who does nothing but point it out. And I think he goes above and beyond what your average bot will do. He's enamored with himself, says the person who watches me every day for hours on end. Oh, man. What a dumbass. How can you be that stupid? How can you be so stupid that you don't even see the irony in what you're saying? Nah, nothing. I'm a successful tap-hand lawman. Sure you are. That's why you're always, oh yeah, I forgot, you're at work. You're such a good employee that you sit on my feed all day while you're at work. I wish I could find out where you work so I could tell your boss. You know, I mean, just go fuck yourself. All of you Christians out there, all of you fake fucking piece of shit, white racist assholes. You know, I mean, you're such jokes. Yo. 5 viewers, three likes. 3 likes and 5 viewers. Totally makes sense. After, again, the previous feed lasted 20 minutes and the comment section was shut down. But that one had over 1,000 views in that 20 minutes. Averaging 50 people per, you know, at any point. What? What do you want? What? Get your butt in the house. Taxpayers can be evil. They are. Yeah. It's time to give up. You're just not good at this. Again, says the guy that watches me every day. Oh, now I have 5 likes and 4 viewers. Because that's how the algorithm works, right? Man, I must be terrible at this. I meant to say, let the Jays and Muslims take over. Nobody is above reproach. Do you remember from a few years ago, I used to watch your feed pretty every day. It's funny, I was looking for your account on Facebook yesterday. I couldn't find you, just stumbled upon it. Well, nice job. I'm glad you're here. You were looking for my account because you won't be able to find. I bet if you were looking for my account, it's because the world around you is making all of those videos that I used to make and all the things I used to say back when I was crazy seem a lot more realistic nowadays, huh? Yep, I'm terrible. 12 years. Again, never mind the previous video. Like, it's just so stupid. If you don't think there's censorship going on here, it's because you are stupid. I don't know what else to say. Matter of fact, I'm going to reset one more time. Dopey Smith, don't forget to sub, because I'm going to reset. Oh, we just popped up. Let's see if it allows us to go. Oh, here we go. This is what schizophrenia looks like. Look, we have a dumb Jew on here. Right? Because this is what they do. Joined 12 years ago. No subscribe. Oh, no, that's the Viking person. Has joined 12 years ago, has no subscribers. The schizophrenia person joined 1 month ago and has no subscribers. Schizophrenia, take your meds. You're crazy. Yep. I do, you should look up what schizophrenia looks like and compare the two. See if I look like I'm schizophrenic because I think we should overthrow the Jews, which means we stop the genocide, stop the pedophilia, and we should, again, kill the pedophiles, right? My self-worth isn't based on followers. Sure it's not. Your self-worth is by towing the line. There it is, gets a mild insult, and suddenly it's the Jews. No, it's the particular insults, you moron. The fact that the same group of people says the same things, and then you look at who it is. So again, it just happens to be a person that made their feed 12 years ago and has no subscribers, or 1 month ago and has no subscribers. Yeah, I made a YouTube account to comment. I don't need a clout to validate my existence. Says somebody that's on here trying to get clout, right? They're just this stupid, and I love it. Because not one of these people tells me what I'm wrong about. Not one of these people actually makes reasonable arguments. They end up saying shit that, like, anybody else would just look at them and laugh. Be like, you're just so stupid. Yep, any insult towards me and suddenly it's the Jews. Oh, I guess, at the end of the day, who is going to oppose me? It's not like you say why you're here. It's not like you give a good reason why you're here. You don't even claim like I'm a warrior in Christ and I don't like nothing like that. When you oppose the guy who thinks we should overthrow the Jews and kill pedophiles, it's safe to assume you're a Jew and or a pedophile. We have jobs, says the person is claiming they have jobs that's on my feed every single day. If I were to block this profile, this dumbass would make another one. That should tell you something. But here, let's explain it, since they won't answer the question, right? They always leave me with this option here. So first and foremost, we always have to play the video because everybody cries because I use Wikipedia. And they like to cry that Wikipedia isn't a good enough source. So we're going to ask Naftali Bennett, who is at this point a former Israeli prime minister, but at the time of this recording, when he's talking to the IsraelNationalNews.com, he is a future Israeli prime minister and a high-ranking Israeli agent. So let's see what he has to say.
Moetzet Yesh, in conjunction with My Israel, has arranged instruction day for wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
I came here to learn.
Okay, so there we go. So I know I'm just making shit up. These are called receipts, right? This is a receipt. This is a proof that you guys never seem to have. And like I say, I only have to do this because you force me to, right? When asked why you're here and what motivates you to suck my dick like you do, well, wish you could, like, I guess figuratively suck my dick every day while you're here, begging for my attention day after day after day, right? If we ask you why you're here, you don't seem to have an answer other than it's entertaining. Duh. All the stuff online everywhere, all the video games that exist, all the life that could be led. You could be out frisbee golfing, you could be out doing anything, but I'm the most entertaining, so that's why you're here. Yeah, that makes so much sense. So now, that we've shown you that Israel controls Wikipedia. Wikipedia might not be the 100% truth, but it is the truth that Israel wants us to know. And they make sure that Israel, that each entry is, quote, balanced and Zionist. He's not even saying that it's, a pro-Israel perspective. He's literally saying a Zionist, it's Zionist in nature, right? So, knowing that if I go look something up on ACT-IL, on Wikipedia, it's not going to be some frivolous, just some conspiracy theory, some Alex Jones bullshit. Nope. I'm showing you the receipts. You guys want proof, I'm going to provide you proof. So the first proof is act.il, and that is one of those pages that's completely locked. You see that? Can't be edited at all. Act.il was a social networking service used by supporters of Israel to oppose online anti-Israel content, such as the BDS movement, boycott, divestments, and sanctions. Its activities were referred to as a, quote, online propaganda campaign and, quote, a virtual situation room of pro-Israel experts. Gee, that is weird. Remember, this is so obvious, so blatant, so out in the open that there's a wiki page about it. That's how, you're telling me I can find this, but the government can't find this? The United States government can't find this? The guys protecting us, they can't find this piece of information? They've never seen the Naftali Bennett video acknowledging Israel controls Wikipedia? Imagine if Russia had a video like that, or China, or any other boogeyman bad guy saying that they control Wikipedia. And it's hard to even say it because there is no equivalent to Zionism for anybody else. Nobody else is allowed to like openly be supremacist. It's one thing to be proud, but it's another thing to be supremacist and demand that everyone else is your slave. And that's what Zionism is. So even if the Russians made a similar video, it wouldn't be the same. Nobody else is allowed to speak like that. Act.il directed its users to, quote, missions, almost like it's an operation of some sort, to like, comment on, and share pro-Israel material on social media. It also asked users to flag, report, and respond to criticisms of Israel. Users were guided on how to respond, which might entail writing a reply using the provided talking points. Schizophrenia, yapping, take your meds, you're just rambling, you don't make any sense, this is incoherent. Like, it's all about, you're on drugs, you're a drug person, you don't have a job, all these crazy fucking things, but it's only like, 6 or 8 things. And never, not once, does any one of them come on and be like, no, you're getting it wrong. Israel is the good guy because of this. Judaism is good because of that. They never say anything like that. The only provided talking points are these, make the person, mental issues. You have mental problems. This is literally everything you see on my feed. They never actually address anything being said. It's just crybaby talking points. The app also provided users with ready-made memes promoting Israel's perspective for them to share. By completing the missions, users earned points, unlocked badges, and had their scores displayed on leaderboards. They turned trolling into a real-life video game where they get real-life prizes and shit. You get enough points, you get a new car. You get enough points, you get a trip. You get enough points, you get a new TV. Shit like that. That's what unlocking the badges means. And remember, this is just one thing. This is just one thing that got exposed. There are many, many other apps and servers and all that shit like this. Speaking of which, now we hop on over to Team Jorge, because, you know, got to be predictable. Funny how I'm so predictable. You know I'm going to talk about these things, and yet you still don't have any sort of argument. You didn't go do some research or something like that that's going to make me look foolish. You just prove the point. Team Jorge is the name given to an outfit of Israeli contractors specialized in the use of malign cyber activities, including hacking, sabotage, and bot farm-run social media disinformation campaigns to manipulate the outcomes of elections. Hey, if this wasn't such a big deal, why are they freaking out about it in the comment section right now? Why are they trying to do everything they can to tell you that this is just nonsense? Anybody, any American, anywhere, you know, this isn't even American. Anybody who's not Jewish Israeli should hear this and be like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And yet for some reason, this group that is obsessed with me and can't define why they're here to begin with is doing everything they can to make it seem like Team Jorge doesn't matter. Remember, Team Jorge is just one of these Israeli black ops groups. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of these same black ops organizations that are extremely well funded with no strings attached. The group was exposed in February of 2023. Man, 2023 was a big year for Israel. After an award-winning undercover operation by journalists from, it says France and Israel, but if you look further down, it'll say the France, Germany, Indonesia, Israel, Kenya, Spain, Tanzania, and the United States. So it's actually bigger than it initially tells you. The organization has been swamp that he was going to drain, Apex swamp that he promised he was going to drain. Now, Trump loves to keep his promises. Gonna lower the gas prices and food prices, gonna release all the different files, gonna, you know, end all the wars with one phone call, gonna, you know, tips aren't gonna be taxed and overtime isn't gonna be taxed. And remember all those promises he doesn't keep? Well, this was one of those where he swore he was gonna drain the swamp if he won. Then he lost by 2.7 million votes. And that same swamp put him in office anyway. They tell you that Russia interfered, but they won't show you how, why. They won't give you any examples. There's no, like, anything to tell you how Russia supposedly changed your opinion. You were going to vote one way, but Russia showed you a meme or something that changed. Like, it's such dumb shit. And all they have to do is make the claim, and, you know, it doesn't matter if they have evidence. They made the claim, and people just believe it. But on paper, they've been active since at least 2015, and they boast of having manipulated 33. 33 was all over the Charlie Kirk stuff. Again, something that's coming out more and more. But this happens to be 33 elections worldwide. Don't worry, white guys. Many of them, meaning 4 or more, were in Africa, so hey, don't worry. And in 27 cases with successful results. 27 out of 33 times. That's 82%. 82% of the time, this one Israeli black ops organization was paid to fuck with an election. They were successful. That is just unheard of. Like, this isn't like, I always compare it to baseball. If you hit the ball 8 out of 10 times, you'd be the greatest baseball player ever. But this isn't even something like that. This is manipulating an entire population to vote in a certain way. And 82% of the time, they've been successful. Their activities were revealed following a 2022 sting operation in Tel Aviv carried out by 3 undercover journalists who posed as prospective clients and filmed their interactions with Tal Hanan, Talhanan, Tal Hanan, the group's leader and former Israeli Special Forces operative, in which he explained the inner workings. He said that Team Jorge has been active for at least 2 decades, for more than 2 decades, that 2015 shit is shit. And has engaged in propaganda and disinformation activities in more than 30 countries. Their services have been available to government intelligence agencies, political campaigns, and private companies that wish to covertly manipulate public opinion. This isn't like the dark web. This isn't some secret backdoor channel into a website with encryption codes and all this shit. I happen to know the secret to get to this information. This is really, really deep, well hidden info. No, man, this is fucking Wikipedia. Literally anybody could look this up and see that Israel has one of their black ops companies was exposed as manipulating elections, covertly manipulating public opinion. And it still doesn't cause any sort of concern or anything. Again, it shouldn't even matter what you think of me or anything like that. And it shouldn't matter even where you're from. Other than you being an Israeli Jew, Israeli, or a paid shill troll of some sort, who's going to hear this and be like, this has nothing. I don't care. This is no big deal. That guy's crazy for knowing these things. This is right in your fucking face. One of the organization's primary tools is a software package called Advanced Impact Media Solutions, or AIMS. Pay attention. The software automates centralized control of thousands of social media profiles, fake social media profiles. And if you actually read the articles, not just the summary on Wikipedia, but the articles that were put out, funny how Wikipedia leaves this convenient little detail out. Well, but I guess it has to be balanced and Zionist, right? That Israel is able to create 30,000 bots at any given time, and they're not even considered bots. They're more like avatars. The technology was unknown to anybody else. Everybody that saw the technology they're using is like, this is well beyond anything that we even know exists. But each avatar has profiles on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that. Each avatar has its own group of profiles and is capable of having conversation and shit like that. They say it's not fair to call them bots because it's beyond bots. 30,000 at a time. Just one Israeli Black Ops organization. So imagine if 10 of them, 20 of them were using this same technology to create 30,000 bots to either make somebody a star, all 30,000 bots go like this profile, or attack somebody. Imagine what they would be capable of doing with this technology that is readily available for anyone to look it up on YouTube or on Wikipedia. And then the only person I know that's been talking about this the whole time, I didn't get this from anybody else. This is one of those things that I saw as it happened in real time because I used to read the Israeli news every day, looking for other clues as to what's about to happen, knowing that the genocide was about to start, predicting it. I predicted October 7th. But so once October 7th happened, it's like, what am I even looking at for? Now all I'm going to look at is them bragging about how many people they kill. And granted, that's a foolish thing. I should be looking up Israel news every day just to make sure, no other Team Jorge stories sneak through. But the guy that's been trying to warn the people that Israel is controlling not just Wikipedia, but everything, all of your social media shit is controlled by Israel. I happen to be being attacked by all of these fake profiles that have, either existed for 12 years and have no subscribers, or they were made a couple of days ago, have no subscribers, or, all fake profiles, all fake pictures, everything's fake about them. Doesn't that, like, exactly fit the mold of what we're talking about here? Or do you honestly believe that there are just regular old people out there who just hate the guy who thinks we should kill pedos? Charlie Kirk has allowed free speech, but not Guy Williams. I miss watching your feed so much. Keep going, man. I was so glad I found this page again this morning. Me too. I'm glad you're here, dude. I would imagine for people like me, you doxing people truly are foolish. If you are so brave, don't give out his address for others. Have the nuts to meet him yourself. They won't. They won't do anything. They won't do anything. Oh, look, we have the doxer, so it doesn't even matter because, again, this person made their profile 3 days ago. That just means they'll make a new profile. But now look, they're advocating to call 911 again because they've already wasted so many fucking they've already wasted resources doing this. But to do it again. Oh look, we have Raqqa who says they're a piece of shit Jew. Okay, well let's hear what you have to say, piece of shit Jew. Aren't you expressing free speech right now? Isn't everyone expressing their free speech right now? So why are you crying about people laughing at you? Yeah, look at the tears flow. The stupidity in like avoiding the idea that I'm God to you and the only reason you're here is because I allow you to be. You know? Obviously what you say doesn't affect me in any way, or else I would just block you. Instead, I love it. I am so glad you are here proving my point with comment after comment after comment. I'm fucking dying, not fast enough. I'm not even Jew. Oh, now he's gonna backtrack. Oh, no, I'm not really a Jew. I'm not really a Jew. I'm God to you. Yeah, that's a literal delusional statement. Oh, wait, never mind. That makes me a new... Again, has any of these cowards bothered to provide a better explanation than they are Team Jorge or they are Act IL? Has anybody? I'm Aboriginal, Australian, African American, and Irish. What the fuck are you, a peckerwood? I swear, this is the best you guys can bring. It's so goofy. And yes, I am God to you. You worship me. Are you kidding me? It's pretty... I can honestly say I've never made a fake profile so I can watch somebody that's already blocked my profile. Yeah, I'm totally going to admit that I'm part of an Israeli Black Ops team. Exactly. You wouldn't admit that unless you were doing it in that like, oh yeah, I'm dead, right? Like that's what you would do. Like whenever I admit to the accusations, I beat my wife. Yeah, that's what you'll do. But no, of course you're not going to. Of course you're going to keep trying to say that the person pointing it out is crazy. You still haven't given a better reason than you're an Israeli Black Ops, than you're a piece of shit crybaby Jew. Still waiting for that better reason. Why you waste so much of your life on me. It's fucking hilarious. He's making my night. I'm about to knock out, I'm sure. Yeah, killing pedophiles, talking about killing pedophiles and eliminating the J cult. That shit is so funny. Pedophiles, that's funny. Did you hear J.D. Vance advertising basically criminalizing left-wing ideologies? Yes. Yes. And it's only to protect Israel. It's not about, crazy left-wing this, that, and the other. It's literally just about protecting Israel. Did you know that J.D. Vance had been on like 8 vacations since they took office? 8 taxpayer-paid vacations all over the world. Him and his family just having a good old time. Protecting Israel? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Yeah, nothing. Israel has to do with nothing. It's only the main point of this feed that you seem to have such an issue with. Again, this is the person that was joined 2 months ago and has 41 subscribers. This is actually maybe a real person who apparently doesn't think we should kill pedos and supports Israel. Really, really interesting how that works. They're protecting Israel by calling left-wing ideologies criminal. Yeah, it's all about protecting Israel. What do you know? You're an Australian, remember? You don't know anything about American politics, right? They're literally destroying the First Amendment to protect Israel. And people aren't seeing that for what it is. Oh, now you have dual citizenship. Sure you are. Sure you do. I bet it's dual Israeli citizenship. Just like a large portion of your government. Do you guys see the picture of all of the freshman Congress people that were just recently elected? And they all just went on a trip to Israel. You know how like when you get a job, you have some sort of training seminar, like, there's that first couple days of training. All of those fucking freshman senators, or freshman congressmen, whatever. They all got to go to Israel and put their hand on the wall, and do their stupid prayers and shit. All pledging allegiance to Israel, and nobody thinks anything. Like, it's really just stupid. Seriously, anybody that is even, if you're not opposed to this, then you're a part of it. It really is that simple. Because what we're seeing, what we're experiencing with this whole Israel thing is just mind-blowing. It really is fucking insane. It's so goddamn obvious what's going on. And to think anything to the contrary is just a joke. I mean, Netanyahu and company ran on the platform that they were going to take Israel back, or they were going to take the West Bank back. They were going to do what they're doing now. That was what they ran on. This is just, Netanyahu is such a horrible, horrible human being. I wish he would get kirked so bad. That's up there with Trump. I just wish those people would just be eliminated. They're horrible people. You can't advocate for genocide and be considered a decent person. And it's just, it's like, if you're speaking against me, chances are you don't know what you're even talking about. You don't know anything about AIPAC. You don't know anything about how Israel was created to begin with. Like, so many of you have only been following this narrative since October 7th. The October 7th false flag where no Israelis were killed and no Israelis were taken hostage. 13 viewers, makes sense. The algorithm has abandoned you just like your family did. Ooh, ow, ooh, ow. It's so fucking stupid. Look at how desperate that is. Can you imagine that? You can't actually have a political conversation, so now you're trying to like personally attack me? What I'm saying is hurting your feelings so much, you're trying to hurt my feelings back. And all you're doing is proving my point. There is no decent argument for anything Israel does. Deleting my comments as well. Yes, I've been deleting your comments. What do you think the next distraction from the Epstein files is going to be? I think the Epstein files are the distraction. The whole dumb narrative that we're being given is the distraction. The fact that they could just be like, well, we're not going to release the files. And that's, oh, okay, well, that's just how the government works, I guess. Like the thing about the Epstein files is it's not going to be like, this is clearly a Jewish conspiracy. And until we're actually talking about the base, the foundation of the problem, we're just being distracted. The way I see it, we've done the same thing to the Native Americans. Ain't none of us going to give up our properties or houses to Native Americans. We shouldn't be involved in Israel. Yeah, but the thing is, we are the reason why Israel exists to begin with. You know, if it weren't for the Allies and the Americans, Israel wouldn't even exist. And this whole thing, it dates back to long before the Balfour Declaration. You know, World War I and II were about Israel. All the other shit that comes along with it is just secondhand. The purpose of World War I and II was the creation of Israel. And it's well documented. Like it's obvious that's what's happened. There is no questioning that. But this is how this works. Then use StreamYard so we can have an actual conversation, you coward. Yep. Because somehow I'm preventing you from making better points. World War I and II was Israel. Did I just say World War I and II were Israel? No. But see, when you can't actually argue the point, you start making things up to fit something that you can argue. Because if I would have said World War I and II were Israel, then that would be an easy thing to argue since Israel didn't exist yet. But if you actually heard what I said, then obviously you can't argue it because you wouldn't have said something stupid like that. It was Palestine forever. The oldest maps you can find, if you believe the narrative we're given, is Palestine. Palestine is talked about in your silly fucking Bible multiple times. You know that your tax dollars pay for Israeli settlers to live totally free? That's okay though. You don't mind that. You don't mind paying for tax for settlers to live and be murderous fucking rapist piece of shits. Nah. But the guy that's talking about the stuff, oh, he is the bad guy. Yeah, talking to Chad is the only way you can feel superior. Let me use my voice like you on a level playing field, right? So you can just talk over me. Why is it if I don't matter so much, you constantly want to do stuff outside of what I'm already doing? And then you always have your crybaby excuses. You actually have the advantage here. Because if we were in some sort of face-to-face situation, people could see how you keep faltering. How your face is like, oh, yeah, oh shit. Like, you actually can think about what you want to say. Hopefully you're smart enough to spell it correctly. But you can actually think about what you want to say and say it. You have all of the advantages here. And yet you still look like a complete piece of shit. Gee, that's weird. Crying, because I'm the one that's always crying. Well, why won't you go do some more? Why don't you talk to me on the phone? I want to talk to you. I can't make a comment. And I can say all this other shit. I can make comments about how I could comment if we were live, but I can't make any good arguments without being live. It's so fucking silly, man. They literally are just so silly.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but you care.
Oh, let's see. Yep, 1 year ago, 3 subscribers. I'm only proving your point more and more, yep. How come you can keep commenting, but you can't use those comments to make any decent points? But you can say shit. Proof, I've shown you nothing but proof. Tons of it. Tons and tons of proof. You know, you start providing the receipts, start providing the proof, and then they cry about the proof. Oh, ain't talking about Team Jorge, FIL. Oh, now you're just showing us a video of a prime minister saying that they control Wikipedia. That's nothing. Isn't it strange how, you know, the proof is shown in the comments that not one of them can make a reasonable, decent argument about anything? If I'm wrong, then it shouldn't be difficult. You should be able to pick any simple thing I've said and then be like, oh, you're wrong about this, and this is why. You're wrong about that, and this is why. You can't. Israel had everything to do with Charlie Kirk. From the reason why you know who he is to whatever happened to him. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was killed. I know they're trying their best to start a race war because if black and white are fighting each other, we're not paying attention to what Israel's doing. Time-tested tactic. You know, if they can get us to hate each other, then we're not talking about who's pulling all the strings. And it's crazy how Charlie Kirk wasn't a racist, but somehow this is going to start a race war. How's that work? Charlie Kirk, who never had anything bad to say about the church that constantly rapes children. And it's so crazy how it's just completely, like, avoided. You know, the church could absolutely eradicate homelessness all over the world. You know, they could absolutely erase homelessness. They could be the lead, like, champions against pedophilia. You know, they could be feeding people. They could be doing all sorts of really good things, and they do none of it. Every once in a while, you'll hear some story about how they helped a small little village of this or that, or, you know, something stupid, but not nearly the potential they have. I box to do Muay Thai. So blah, 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 blah. Shut up. You don't do shit, you coward. You dumb, cowardly bitch. The only thing you do is troll for children. So I'm really glad that you're here and not trolling for children. If I can provide you a distraction for however many hours you'll sit here and watch me every single day, that's time you're not trolling for children, and I'm cool with that. I mean, it's just, it's so disgusting who these people are. They're Matitza Buffet cult, man. Matitza B'Peh, not only should it be eliminated and outlawed in every fucking corner of the earth, the last people that are going to stand up against it are the Jews. Why aren't they, if they're such good people, why aren't they calling this practice out and demanding its abolishment? They should be leading the charge against Matitza B'Peh, and they're not. I mean, if again, there's no point. Look at these comments. If y'all want to help people, don't wait for someone else to do it. Get off your ass and do it yourself. That's not true, Brian. There are lots of people out there who are followers, and being a follower isn't a bad thing. As long as you're a follower of good things and you partake in the good thing, then you're doing the right thing. You know, you can't tell anybody else that they need to be doing more, like physically. You know, we are very limited in what we can do. So for me, I'm always, I'll take the heat. Share my shit, let me do it. If you're gonna do anything, share my shit. Protesting and shit, that doesn't work. They don't give a shit about our goofy ass protests. Show me a protest that literally, there was a protest about it and the government was like, oh, okay, well, I guess the people have spoken and we'll make a change. This shit doesn't happen. Your protests mean nothing. They just fly over your protests in their helicopters or travel underneath it in their underground tunnel networks. Yep, I need attention. This is all about me getting attention. So why don't I just take the Charlie Kirk route and try to appeal to all of you fucking morons out there? Wouldn't that be a better route? If I just wanted attention, then I would be all about God is real. I'd be selling Jesus because Jesus is already a proven commodity. Right? I'd be supporting Israel. Look, all Charlie had to do was tell you what you wanted to hear, all you racist, homophobic, sexist white people. And he was allowed to exist, right? It had nothing to do with Israel. Never mind his donor list reading like a bar mitzvah registry. Nah. Grown man can't have a reasonable debate, so they want to watch me do push-ups. Again, what kind of weird ass sexual shit? You want to watch another man exercise? I want to watch you. I want you to call me on the phone, and I want to watch you do push-ups. And I can't you just pay attention? Well, he's yelling, right? He's using cap locks. I'm trying to get attention, says the person using cap locks. Totally makes sense, doesn't it? That I'm just doing this for attention, and the person calling me out is one of these, let's see, profiles that has been joined 8 days ago, has no subscribers, calls himself and says, I just want attention, that's why I'm doing this. Selling you Jesus. Why don't I take the Charlie Kirk route? Why don't I sell you Jesus and all the other sexist, racist bullshit you want to hear? Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that get me more attention? Wouldn't I get more attention if I was like pro-Israel and all that shit? Huh. And considering the attention I get, seemingly as a bunch of fucking little pedophile piece of shit friars, what the fuck, what benefit does that give me? See, the thing is, I can actually address things. I'm not scared of the things you have to say because they're just stupid. It's super obvious what you're doing and what motivates you. And everything you do and say to try to deny it or change the subject or whatever just shines the spotlight on you even harder. And yet you're too dumb to realize it, so you just keep playing the game, right? I can block your profile, and you're so obsessed with me that you'll make a fake one just so you can come get my attention, or at least try to. If you can tell me you've seen this type of shit before online, then I'm wrong. Look at that. Who loves you, baby? Yeah, right. Can't prove it. I'm the worst father, husband, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah.
That's why I've been with you for 20 years.
No, it's because I beat you. I won't let you leave. Remember? You dumb bitch! I'm such a threat, they call the cops to try to hopefully do their dirty work, and then the cops just laugh at them. These like this insanity that's happening right now is exactly what you would expect at the tail end of the occupation, the falling for it. They're desperately scrambling, trying to regain control, trying to silence any sort of opposition, trying to scare people. If you talk bad, you're going to go to jail and get $1 million fine. You're not supposed to talk bad about, you don't have free speech when it comes to this one thing.
Cataloging all the information when we buy weed. Marijuana saves lives.
I mean, it's such just an incredible narrative to be a part of. And to be on the forefront of, I'll never get accused of joining on the bandwagon because things got popular or whatever. I've been going against the grain the whole time. And I was crazy for a long time, right? Most people, Craig, Israel's not doing anything. Israel's our greatest ally. I shared a video of an IDF soldier talking about he couldn't find any more babies. He said, yeah, I killed a 12-year-old, but I was looking for babies. And he's laughing about it, thinks it's all funny. These are just insane psychopaths, man. And you have to stop falling for the narratives you're given. It's Israel doing it. It's not Israel. By the way, like, share, and sub if you're watching. Make sure you smash the dislike if I'm wrong.
Supersede forever smartest people. The pot's calling, the kettle weed.
That's what you're, Y-O-U-R, doing right now. Oh, Jesus. I get when English isn't your first language, or you're just some inbred dumbass Israeli, or I should say. You mess silly things up like you get your yours wrong every single time because you're a fucking moron. I mean, the reason why they spam the comment section with such dumbass shit is so I don't pay attention. So the people that do show support and whatnot, I miss their comments and then they feel like I, slighted them or something. But I've been proud of my anti-Semitism for a very long time. And people need to understand what Semitism means. Because Semitism is policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. Anti-Semitism is simply anti-supremacy. Policy and predisposition, policy, the rules and regulations, and the predisposition, again, I've said this before, but predisposition isn't just like your mental programming. Predisposition is like a genetic level. Your parents, your mom's side has cancer, your mother gets cancer, grandmother cancer, all the people in her side of the family get cancer. Well, now you're predisposed to having cancer because of your family. At least that's the narrative we're given. So when you're talking about policy and predisposition favorable to Jews, that's some pretty heavy shit, right? And please, by all means, tell me how I'm wrong about this. I sure would love to hear your anti-Semitism arguments. Belch. Come on, I'm wrong, so tell me what I'm wrong about. They, literally changed the spelling of anti-Semitism in 2021 from ANTI-capital SEMITISM to ANTISEMITISM, all one word, all lowercase, because they said they didn't want us, the Goyim, thinking that anti-Semitism opposed something called Semitism, literally trying to hide the meaning of the word from you. And the Associated Press and, dictionary.com and shit, they're all mad at Webster's dictionary because Webster's hasn't adopted that definition yet. Literally trying to rewrite history. It's fucking insane. It really is insane. Everybody should be, like, when was the last time you ever heard of a word being changed? The spelling of a word being changed. There being government hearings to decide whether or not a word that's been in existence since at least the 1880s, that was originally coined to be just that, opposing the Jewish supremacy. It was anti-Semitism. Just like how blood libel has been completely hijacked by them. You always hear Netanyahu talking about, that's blood libel. That's blood libel. You can't say that. That's blood libel. Blood libel is a practice that the Jews have been consistently accused of for over 1,000 years, according to the narrative. If you believe that 1,000 years ago was what it was, where their Passover ritual involves killing children and baking their blood, draining their blood and using it for ritual purposes, one of which is baking it into their bread and eating it, their matzah and eating it. That's something that they've been accused of forever. There's lots of documented cases of this. People, being accused and then being tried. And of course, every time it was a misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding of some sort. But now Netanyahu says that anytime he wants to back people off, well, that's blood libel. And you go, oh, I don't want to be blood libel. I don't know what it means, but sounds bad. Oh, another schizo comment. Yup. Gotta love the provided talking points. Because again, I'm wrong. Go ahead and tell me which part I'm wrong about. The definition of blood libel, the definition of Semitism, anti-Semitism being changed. Which part am I wrong about? What's the schizo part for? Where am I schizo now? So they remove the hyphen and that makes you upset or mad? Really? Oh man. So desperate. Like, why don't you just say, I don't have an argument, so I'm going to say something stupid? It would be just as fucking effective. It's so crazy to think that people could be this stupid. But I just don't. I don't think that it is. I don't think this is my Goyim brother and sisters here. I really can't understand why it would be anybody else. Even if you're a Christian, you see what's going on. Christians don't advocate for genocide. Your average Christian believes themselves to be a good person and will help people out and, help the homeless and shit like that. They're not talking about killing people. That's these fucking psychopaths, man. And that's why Charlie Kirk was created to begin with. So when they needed to, they could sacrifice him. They're definitely not going to take out one of their own. They had to elevate a Goyim so that the Goyim could be taken out because they don't sacrifice their own. That's how you know nobody died on October 7th. No Israelis died on October 7th. Or were taken hostage. They don't sacrifice their own. They don't do that. That's why every time you ever do hear about like some Israelis were killed, it's like 1 or 2, maybe 4 at the most. Because it was a car accident or it was some sort of situation where somebody died. And they just use that, they rework it, they reframe it so it looks like they were attacked in some way and this person was killed in some sort of attack. But it's never backed up by any sort of evidence. And if anything, just like with Charlie Kirk, Charlie's one of the first people I've seen, one of the first Goyim I've seen who had their funeral almost immediately. Normally that's something that's only reserved for them, but, he's one of their top operators, so I guess it makes sense. Let's see. It's so funny how, again, everybody's all like, free speech, free speech, free speech. Unless you're speaking against Charlie Kirk, then you're not allowed to say that. There was something, okay, so they're saying the Charlie Kirk funeral was like the public funeral, but there was something else. There was a memorial or something. There was something else where it was, and Trump's going to attend it. Oh, man. There was something else that happened. I guess he didn't get the actual Kirk treatment, or didn't get the actual chosen treatment. What the fuck was that? I just had a drop of blood on me, and I have no idea where it came from. That's weird. You have free speech. No one is stopping you from saying anything. Oh, well, you're trying. What about all the people that are reporting? I'm reporting you because I'm too stupid. You should stop saying these things. You shouldn't talk about these things. Notice how, again, I love when people say shit like that because he's acknowledging that he's paying attention to what's being said. So when asked, well, why are you here to begin with? And he doesn't answer that question. That should sort of wake you up. Like, why? You can obviously respond to things. Why do you avoid that question so much? And if he does answer, it'll be some sort of like, fake bullshit answer, right? Like when you ask a Christian, why are they Christian and not Muslim? What makes you think Christianity is true but Islam isn't? And they say some stupid shit like, well, because Jesus is king. Like, what? What? I can't stand what I'm seeing, man. I hate it. I hate how it's all being worked against us. I hate how obvious this whole thing is. And yet, again, it's being used to manipulate and create negative situations. It's a weird situation here. And it's scary. It's scary to think that we can be turned on each other so easily. Well, they're a well-oiled machine. The Israeli system is a well-oiled machine. They don't care where the person's from. They have the law of return. It doesn't even matter, like, as long as you have a grandparent, you don't even have to be practicing. As long as you have a grandparent that is one of them, you can come to Israel and get the special treatment. Toxic social media after Kirk's shooting brings calls to log off and put down phones, the Seattle Times says. Tyler Robinson. Sorry, I'm just looking something up real quick. "22-year-old. Let's see. amazing how few pictures there are of this dude. Okay, so this is one of these pictures that always seems to happen, right? So you get the family picture, right? And then you get the shooter, like the family's all close together and in the center of the frame. And then the shooter is just sort of in the background, and he doesn't have the right lighting on him, the same lighting. And you can tell that something else is happening here. This is an edited photo. And you see that all the time in these kinds of situations. Just like when it was the Handy Silk shooting, right? You saw all of these photos that just didn't fit. Look at this photo. Why is his brother reaching around like that? Isn't that an extra long arm for his brother to have? Look how short his other arm is. And yet he's somehow reaching all the way around in this weird position. And then the kid is again in a weird pose. He's not like connected to the family. Even here, look, it's another one of these photos where, like, okay, so now his arm appears to be resting on his mom's shoulder, but does it? It sure does kind of look edited. It looks like it was put in that position. Because again, you have the family in the sort of the center of the photo, and then you have this person off to the side. There sure aren't very many photos of him, though. Wow. That's really interesting, obviously, honestly. Oh, this is him just standing in his bedroom. Look how messy it is. He's so messy. But look, he drinks Sprite just like everyone else, even though the label is turned away so they don't get the advertising credit. And what bed is this? This sure does look like a hospital bed. Something fell.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I thought it was a chair. I don't see anything.
Maybe.
No. I mean, it can't even be that. Nobody's heavy enough to move that. That's really weird, huh?
That was loud as hell.
I know, I heard it outside.
It wasn't something that fell on the roof?
Might have been, I don't know. Have a good day. All right, man, you too. Yes, a race war. They're trying to bring about a race war. Because just like that's nothing, you know? But the best distraction, like anytime they need a distraction, they take down a statue. You know? And in this situation, instead of it being just a statue, like this is a living representation, you know, a statue, so to speak. You know, it's funny too, this crybaby keeps pretending like, I guess the Jews don't control things, as I guess what you're saying. Because, you know, they've tricked people into thinking, saying the Jews control the money, the power, and, you know, the Jews have all the money, power, and control, that that's somehow a negative thing, like that's a slur. Ouch. You don't think the Jews control everything, just look up AIPAC. Seriously. AIPAC is the it's really hard to believe that AIPAC can exist and be so like exposed and still people question the narrative. If there was an AIPAC, but it was, Russia, everybody would freak the fuck out. The idea that Russia controls the narrative, that's insane. You know who else I'd stay away from? Ian Carroll. Ian Carroll absolutely seems like from the beginning, he's just seemed like a guy who something isn't right. Something just isn't quite right. And he'll be the first one to tell you, it's not the Jews, it's the Zionists. It's the Zionists. And it's absolutely not the Zionist. Zionist is just a fucking stupid cover. It's just disgusting, man. If I was talking bad about the Muslims, all these people wouldn't be here. You can't say that about the Muslims. They'd be jumping right in. The stupidity is like a cancer, man. It's so prevalent, and it's so, all-encompassing. It's hard to get past it. There are no intelligent arguments that can be given to explain Matitza Bapé or the acceptance of it. Right? These guys aren't going to try. Why don't you guys try and explain why Matitza Bapé is okay? Why we should still accommodate it? Do you know how many Jews are on welfare? How many of the Hasidic Jews are on welfare in those really small communities in Pennsylvania and New York and shit? They have like 10 kids. They live in a fucking mansion. Did you hear about that woman who killed her 2 kids? She drowned them in the tub. She stabbed one of them and drowned. Stabbed one and drowned one, and then drowned one. Like a 3-year-old and a little baby. And the 3-year-old even tried to run and hide, but she wouldn't let it happen. She was some super Hasidic woman. And instead of just being put in prison and be given the death penalty like she should be, she was put into a psychiatric hospital where, as long as she's deemed eventually okay, like she's not psychotic anymore, she'll get let out. And she was deemed to be temporarily insane because she was killing her kids for religious purposes. It was sacrifice bullshit. Part of the transcendence bullshit. Part of the bottom of darkness bullshit. But she's that story didn't go all over the United States and catch fire like it should. That story didn't open up an investigation into any of it. The crazy part is, too, the body cam footage that's released, they blur out literally everything in the house, so you can't see any of the, all the Israel stuff, all the symbolic bullshit all over the house. They claim it's because there's blood just everywhere. There's not blood everywhere. But the cam footage that was released literally blurred out everything. It's a really scary situation. These are scary fucking people, man. If they can do what they do to their own children, what do you think they can do to the rest of us? Without even thinking about it. And the evidence is endless. There is an endless stream of evidence to show you that these are psychopaths. When you inbreed people and you know, each generation is told that they're just so superior to everyone else, and anytime anybody doesn't like them, it's because they're just jealous. They're just jealous. They wish they were God's chosen people. Like, it's created a population of fucking monsters. They're just awful. I hate even calling them human beings because that puts us in the same category. But they're monsters. That cult is monstrous. What they believe in is insane. Just, what about the idea that when a boy turns 13, he becomes a man? What sort of insanity are we talking about here? 13? Are you fucking insane? How many people think a 13-year-old is a man in any situation? You guys see the thing, the 50 states, one Israel campaign? Let's go for a little ride here. Strap in. God, I hate fucking being broken. I bet if I just put 50 in, it'll fit. Here's the Jerusalem Post. So we can't hide behind any crybaby shit here. Bipartisan U.S. support reminds Israel that true friends stand by us, officials tell the Jerusalem Post. Which is really crazy because, again, I don't know a single person that stands up for Israel. So the representation that we supposedly have in government does not at all reflect what the people want. I don't know a single fucking person outside of, the Jews that come on here. I haven't met a single person that thinks, oh yeah, Israel's not bad. It's really fucking strange, actually, when you think about it. Do you know anybody? Does anybody know anybody that thinks, Israel is a good thing? I haven't met a single person. I could walk up down the street and I guarantee everybody will be like, fuck no. Seeing bipartisan support from those attending the 50 States One Israel conference shows Israel's true friends stand by us, Foreign Ministry Deputy Director of North America, Laura Hyatt said. Oh, remind me, I have to look up what the Deputy Director of the FBI said about the Epstein files, because that's some pretty big shit too. About redacting just the Republicans and the conservatives and moving Ghislaine Maxwell to protect her because she had something. She was going to release some shit. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Foreign Minister Gideon Saar both addressed the delegation at an event at the Foreign Ministry titled 50 States, One Israel on Monday. Do you realize how just fucking insane that is? 50 States, One Israel? Where are all the veterans in this? Leah Bia! I was going to reach out and let you know I was live, but I didn't want to seem desperate. 50 states, one Israel. That is just, I've been telling you guys for the longest that I think Israel is the 51st United States. That's what makes more sense than, than it's another country that considers itself the state of Israel. Just a weird, why would you ever call yourself a state if you're a country? That's like you're the owner of the restaurant and you're like, oh, I'm just a manager. I'm just a manager. I'm the night manager. You can always let me know. All right, I just, like I said, I don't want to intrude. Although all I want is attention, I don't want to intrude. You know, I was shocked. I have to admit, I was shocked to find out that you believe in God. If anything, I thought you would be more of a Wiccan, pagan type, and not a God believer. So that was kind of weird for me to hear that. I'm not knocking you or anything, just think it's weird. Guy Williams is an absolute nut because I'm reading you what the Jerusalem Post says. Yep. I'm just crazy. See how the Jews kick in that extra gear when I start reading something? Back to, he's crazy, guys. Hey, guys, he's crazy. Guys, don't listen to what he's saying. He's crazy. He's crazy. Dismiss it. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's an absolute nut. He's crazy. You see how they do that? Like it's not written down. Like it's not the Jerusalem Post that is talking about this. Welcome to Jerusalem, the eternal capital of Israel. Like just an arrogant piece of shit thing to say, right? Because it wasn't until Trump that Jerusalem was the capital of Israel. But they just love to rub the shit in. Declared liar. Name is Liar. Lior. Liar Hayat, Deputy Director for North America at the Foreign Ministry, as he opened the event. Speaking later to the Jerusalem Post, Hayat emphasized, in a period like this, seeing bipartisan support from all 50 U.S. states in an ahistoric, it's an historic, dumbass, in a historic event, unprecedented in Israel's history, reminds us that in difficult moments, our true friends stand by us. What difficult moments are they in? They're literally bombing everyone else. And not even being attacked in the process. How come Qatar didn't fucking bomb them back? How come all of these other nations haven't gotten together and said, hey, you know, we might have our differences, but we have a common enemy right now. Let's work together to eliminate this shit. Why hasn't Saudi Arabia, the one country that refused to sign the Abraham Accords because specifically they didn't agree with the treatment of the Palestinians, why has Saudi Arabia been so quiet? Obviously, again, the people aren't. The people are protesting everywhere. Literally everywhere. It's the leadership that keeps, you know, us versus them kind of thing. Seemingly nobody has leadership that they can get behind. Because it's all bought and paid for. I mean, this whole 50, oh, this is unprecedented, blah, blah, blah. You paid them. They were forced into doing it. This wasn't a choice for them. You bankrolled their campaign so they could win their position, and then paid for the trip with the mandatory trip. Where's the, like, it's just literal stupid fucking shit over and over again. It doesn't even make sense. Oh, is that it? That's all we're gonna get on that particular piece? Thanks, Jerusalem Post. That was insightful. The Times of Israel. Sa'ar urges 250 visiting U.S. state legislators to pass anti-BDS laws in their states. I mean, it's just fucking wild. You can boycott America in America, but you cannot boycott Israel? And if they were in the right, why would they need to make laws preventing it? If they were the good guys, why aren't they just explaining how and why they're the good guys? Convincing the people that, the sheep that are willing to believe anything. Why aren't they convincing us that they're the good guys? Why are they making it illegal? I mean, that's literally what you do when you know you're wrong. But if that's not the case, then what is it? Look at how people are desperately trying to get me to change the subject. Why would any American want the subject changed right now? You don't want to know about this stuff? This doesn't seem important to you? Shit, why would the Israelis? Why would the Jews want me to stop talking about this? I'm bragging for you, right? These types of things need to be acknowledged. You can't just sit here and expect somebody to tell you everything, to give you all of it, and be like, all right, think this way. I mean, I'm looking at what they want us to read. And what they want us to read sounds horrific. Here, let's see what the Times of Israel has to say about this. Speaking to the delegation of 250 U.S. state legislators visiting Israel during a turbulent diplomatic week, Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar rallies their support against what he describes as a coordinated campaign by enemies of Israel to isolate the Jewish state. It's a coordinated campaign. It's not that they keep bombing everybody. It's actually everybody working against them. A group of 250 legislators poses for a photo outside the Knesset in Jerusalem on September 15th, 2025. Who paid for this? Who paid for all of these people to travel first class and stay in the highest, first class hotels and all that shit? It's so funny how these cowards keep redacting their messages. We are witnessing a coordinated global effort against Israel today, Sa'ar says, backing claims made earlier by douchebag Netanyahu at the same event, in which the premier said China and Qatar were spreading media and political efforts against Israel, or spearheading media and political efforts against Israel. Israel just bombed Qatar. How the fuck can they even say these things and like expect people to just believe it? This is insane. This is fucking insane. It's not an attempt to change our borders. It's not an attempt to establish a Palestinian state, which everybody's given up on because you said there's no way it'll ever happen. It's an attempt to eliminate the state of Israel, the only Jewish state. This is what it is. What's the Christian state? What's the Muslim state? Why should 0.183% of the world's population have their own state that is given more money than anyone else, like almost combined? Sa'ar says Israel's enemies have turned to propaganda, political, legal, and economic warfare, urging the legislators' assistance in fighting the increased use of anti-Israel boycott, divestments, and sanctions movement. But isn't it funny again how nobody's addressing why? Why is there all of this? What's going on? Why does everybody just want to eliminate the Jewish state, as they say? I'm just checking. All right. The best answer against BDS until this day has been anti-BDS legislation by your states, he tells them. It's a damn good thing I'm not a BDS guy, huh? And really, it's like, they wonder why there's riots. They wonder why the people supposedly escalate violence against the system. Well, because when we do what we're supposed to do, which is peacefully protest through boycotting and whatnot, then that's made illegal. What are people supposed to do? You think by making it illegal, that's just going to change people's minds? Oh shit, it's illegal now, so I better not think this way. Like, this is all just some weird ass dream that I hope I wake up from, because, it's definitely, it worked out exactly the way I thought it would. My uncle made it onto the Stop Anti-Semitism daily newsletter. Isn't it funny how, with all of the views and everything that I've been saying and doing for years, I haven't made it on anything. They definitely don't want to give me any attention. I would give anything to have the ADL come at me. Oh man, that would be so great. I wish the piece of shit ADL would dare to try to come at me. Because I don't have a problem saying what I think. And when they try to pull off their bullshit, oh, this is biblical. I don't believe in the Bible. Oh, well, this is anti-Semitism. We're anti-Semitic. I'm going to laugh at you if you say anti-Semitic, because I firmly support the Palestinians, who are the only Semitic people in this conflict. And I'm very proud of my anti-Semitism. Once those two things are addressed, they literally don't have any sort of argument. There's nothing that can be said. The delegation then continues to the Knesset, where Speaker of the Knesset, Amir Ohana, echoes Netanyahu and Sa'ar's hailing United States-Israel relations before picking up an electric guitar to perform for the crowd with Israeli rock band Stella Maris. What? Are we fucking serious here? It's this much of a joke that this is what they're doing? The America-Israel relationship is unlike any other. That is for damn sure. There definitely is nothing else like this on earth. It is not merely a matter of interest, though ours align closely, nor is it simply a matter of policy or economics. It is a bond rooted in principle and shared beliefs. Yeah, again, who? The people that they, like, they're so bad they have to pay people to like them. Did you see that one congressman or representative, whatever he was, a government shill that was caught walking somewhere? And they were like, well, what do you have to say about the numbers of children being killed? And they're like, oh, where'd you hear that? And they said what's it called? God damn it. The UN. And he was like, oh, you believe the UN? And the guy was just sort of shocked. Like, yeah, they've documented this pretty well. Ohana thanks the group of legislators made up of Democrats and Republicans from all 50 states for the U.S. for supporting Israel, and the U.S. for supporting Israel. Hey, there's only 50 states. Why was there 250 delegates there? That's weird. He then plays a series of rock classics, including Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses, which he dedicated to the recent murdered conservative U.S. commentator Charlie Kirk, earning a standing ovation. Gee, that's weird because Charlie Kirk had supposedly turned on Israel, right? That's weird. We all know that as soon as somebody says anything Israel doesn't like, they become public enemy number one. So why was Charlie still allowed to... Why is Charlie still being, like, championed by Israel? It's kind of weird. Kind of like when Israel blows up Beirut, and then they're the first one to reach out. Oh, we want to assist you guys. How can we help? Remember that? Remember when Tel Aviv was blown up? Wait, it wasn't Tel Aviv, was it? Whatever, that fertilizer bomb went off, and they blamed it on some fireworks. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door, Guns N' Roses style, dedicated to Charlie Kirk. It's a song about drug use. All right, it's the Washington Post here, because I'm just keep reading. Rubio downplays U.S. tensions with Israel. Plans to visit Qatar after strike. Oh, I bet that'll go over well. If Qatar doesn't take Rubio out for having the audacity to come there after this, you just know it's all bullshit. Oh, looks like I can't read this one without subscribing to their bullshit. Israel National News. Netanyahu, if we didn't act, we'd die, and the Jewish story would die. Oh, what a piece of shit. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke today, Monday, at the 50 States One Israel event at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with the largest delegation of American legislators to ever visit Israel. Can I ask a question? How many of you are visiting Israel for the first time? He asked the 250 lawmakers from 50 states. That's fucking crazy. $250 lawmakers. How many have been here before? Wow, 2? Well, welcome to all of you. It's very good to see you here with Foreign Minister Sahar and Deputy Minister Shahar Haskell and our ambassador to Washington, Yechiel. Stand up. Look at this man. Look at him. Look at him! He, Yechiel, represents the greatest military comeback in recent history. Netanyahu noted, on October 7th, we were attacked with no provocation by the Hamas monsters. They murdered 1,200 of our citizens. I thought it was 1,129. What's up, Karen? It's crazy how these cowards are hiding their comments now. Why do you think they're doing that? If they're proud of what they're saying, why are they hiding their comments? It's interesting. They burnt babies alive. They raped and then murdered women. They beheaded men. They took 250 some hostages, grandmothers, grandchildren, Holocaust survivors to the dungeons of Gaza. Get the fuck out of here. These people have killed 400,000. I think a lot of people thought that we were on the ropes or perhaps flat on the ground and we didn't have a chance of a comeback. A day later, on October 8th, Hezbollah joined the fray. They started rocketing our cities again. No provocation. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you guys know that Israel had killed at least 240 Palestinian civilians prior to October 7th that year? And 2023 was setting up to be the deadliest year for the Palestinians since 2006 when the Intifada happened or whatever. Just a slaughter. And it was second only to 2022, which was the deadliest year for the Palestinians since 2006. Second only to 2021, which was the deadliest year for the Palestinians since 2006. And that number had been increasing year after year after year of civilians reported dead. And the thing is, whenever they report deaths, they'll say things like Israel had killed 250 militants in 2022, but there was also multiple events, multiple operations where they killed another 300, another 250, so they report it in multiple ways. It's really fucking crazy. I said on that day, we will change the face of the Middle East. I said that because it was clear to me from day one that we weren't just fighting Hamas, we were fighting the Iran axis that consisted of Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, the three H's, and a few others in between. And while we would start with Hamas, we'd have to eventually reach the patron, and in one ear or the other, all of the elements of this terror axis. This is what we proceeded to do, first by striking hard at Hamas, then when their main organized military forces, he's just flat out lying. Their main organized military forces, they don't even have a government. How could they have a military? They're super badass military with a bunch of sticks and stones and rocks and shit. This is just so outrageous that this piece of shit is allowed to just lie. He's just a fucking liar. And considering the vast majority of this delegation are a bunch of goyim, he doesn't give a fuck about lying to them. Oh my God. This is the other reason why I stopped reading this. I stopped reading Israeli news. Because it's such obvious propaganda, one-sided, just utter fucking bullshit. Then when they're listen to how he talks, just like reiterating the lie, just like Trump always does. Then when their main organized military forces, were obliterated, we went to the north, where we told the people to go to escape the bombings. We said, go north, you won't be bombed. And then we bombed them there. And then we said, go south. We dropped leaflets from the sky saying, you better leave or we're going to bomb the shit out of you. I hope none of you have beepers. Oh my God, he's even making jokes. We're obliterated, we went north. I hope none of you have beepers, because remember when Israel intercepted all of those beepers and put bombs in them and injured and killed some 1,200 fucking people or some shit in Lebanon? Just regular civilians who happen to have beepers? This fucker's making jokes about it. He just threw that in there. I hope none of you have beepers. Ha ha ha. And proceeded to take out... Wait. Listen to this structure. Then when their main organized military forces were obliterated, we went to the north. I hope none of you have beepers. And proceeded to take out Hassan Nasrallah of Hezbollah, who was, in fact, the axis of the axis. Yep. He actually held this axis together. And once he was gone, the murderous Assad regime collapsed. This is fucking insane. Because during the Syrian civil war, it wasn't the Syrian army that fought Assad's enemies. It was, invariably, when the battle didn't go well, Nasrallah would send him thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of Hezbollah troops to save his regime. Yep, just has those 10,000 Hezbollah troops just waiting around. There's literally no footage of any of this. He is just making up lie after lie after lie. And there is no media outlet going to cover that, going to talk about that. Hey Bay is one of those people who said, who's retracting their comments? Just retracted a comment. Oh man, they're so stupid. Now Nasrallah was gone. Hezbollah was crippled, so Assad fell. And once he fell, the land route that connected the access from Tehran to the sea, Lebanon, was gone. What are we talking about here? Has there been a shitload more attacks on Lebanon than we realize? Is that what they're saying? Didn't know Lebanon had been crippled and shit. I know Lebanon had been attacked a few times. And now, what happened was that the death noose that Hamas wanted to, that Iran put in place, that Iran wanted to put place, or wanted to put place around our necks was gone. That was their vehicle. That was their vehicles to annihilate Israel. Remember, they chanted, death to America, death to Israel. What is he fucking talking about? You want to see some death to America trance? Go look at the Israelis. Go look at Israeli Independence Day and the things that they say. To achieve death to America, they have to achieve first death to Israel, because we are America's front line here. Oh my God. And the only force in the Middle East that was forcibly challenging, and fighting them in their quest for domination and subordination and annihilation, but ultimately they were geared to America. Yep. Americans, you're in danger. You are in danger. It's not the Israelis that are constantly caught spying. You remember in 2016 when 3 listening devices were found triangulated around the White House, intercepting every single call going in and out of the White House, every single communication going in and out of the White House? And it was exposed that it was Israel that put those listening devices there. Remember that? Yep. Yep. We're in danger from other people. Schizophrenia. Yep. Here we go. I'm crazy because I'm reading you the Israel National News. All right? Look at me. I'm crazy because I'm reading you what Netanyahu says. This is how stupid they are. This is how stupid they are. They don't even realize that by saying what I'm doing is schizophrenic, when I'm reading you what Netanyahu says, that makes Netanyahu sound pretty fucking crazy, doesn't it? Or no, it doesn't. He continued, so their goal was to destroy Israel. So what did they do? They began to race to the bomb. Oh, here we go with the bomb narrative. They already had enough enriched uranium, but you need the weapon around the uranium ball. And they just couldn't figure it out. After all of these decades, they just haven't been able to figure it out yet. That must be what it is. And so they began to work secretly to achieve their weaponized team. It's called, in jargon, okay, what? And so they began to work secretly to activate their weaponized team. It's called, in jargon, okay. We knew that if we didn't act within a year, they'd have 1 atomic bomb, possibly 2. So we acted. We acted like somebody who has 2 lumps of cancer. 1 lump is the atomic cancer, the spectrum of atomic bombs, and the second is the spectrum of 20,000 ballistic missiles. 1-ton ballistic missiles that fall Mach 6 to Mach 8 right from the sky. And yet that never happened. Israel has claimed forever that there are 150,000 rockets pointed at them at all time. And yet nobody is ever doing anything about it. They have you believing that the Iron Dome exists because they shoot rockets into agreed upon coordinates and then it shoots them down. But if you know, the Iran thing is to be believed, well, Iran got through the Iron Dome, no problem. And if there are 150,000 rockets pointed at Israel at all times, I can't imagine the Iron Dome could protect them if it was happening all at once. And they destroy everything they touch. 20,000 of those in the state, the size of New Jersey, right? Bigger than Rhode Island, bigger than Rhode Island. But that's it, you know? Well, that's equivalent to 2 nuclear bombs. What? What the fuck is this man even talking about? 20,000 of those in the state, the size of New Jersey, right? Bigger than Rhode Island. Bigger than Rhode Island. But that's it. You know, well, that's equivalent to 2 nuclear bombs. Oh, yeah. That totally makes sense. That just totally makes sense. So we had to act. If we didn't act, we'd die. And with us would die the whole story, the 3.5 millennia story of the Jewish people, Netanyahu declared. If you don't act, you're not going to be here. So we acted with the incredible help of President Trump and those brave pilots of the United States. Because they had us doing their dirty work. They didn't want to risk their own people getting shot down. Do you guys remember this? Do you guys remember this? Yeah, I'm clearly deleting comments. I'm resting a phone in one hand and holding a phone with the other hand. But you know me, I got that third Israeli hand deleting comments. That makes a bunch of sense, doesn't it? Do you not realize how stupid these fucking people are? How the fuck are we losing to such stupid ass people? That's the end of that article, apparently. I just can't even fucking believe this shit. IDF tank entry, aerial assaults in North Gaza. So they're taking it. May Day protest and Israel's Independence Day. That's from a day ago. Oh no, that's from May 2nd, 2025. Why was that just thrown in here? Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel has no better ally than the United States. Oh, they wouldn't survive without us. How war between Iran and Israel could escalate and drag in the United States. It shouldn't drag us in, not even a little bit. Israeli forces killed dozens at U.S.-backed aid sites in Gaza. Oh, here we go. Because, see, only Al Jazeera is going to talk about this shit. Israel's the bad guy, or Israel is the good guy, right? Must be Hamas launching those rockets at their own people again.
There's been a dramatic escalation of the Israeli military's targeting of Gaza City in the north of the Strip. Over the past 2 days, warplanes have bombed and destroyed at least 70 residential buildings in the city.
Jesus.
Entire families have been killed in some of those strikes. Schools that were housing displaced Palestinians have also been attacked. Gaza City was once the bustling commercial hub of the Strip. Now, entire neighborhoods are in ruins. The Israeli army has issued forced expulsion orders for residents with the stated aim of displacing civilians south so it can capture and hold more land in the north. Our correspondent Hani Mahmoud is in Gaza City with a look at the destruction.
This is Gaza City today, once a home to thousands of Palestinians, now a graveyard to concrete and dust. Relentless airstrike targeted and flattened 70 residential buildings. These were not military compounds, they were apartment blocks, they were homes. They housed hundreds of Palestinian families who are now sleeping in the streets, in temporary shelters or not at all. This building behind me held over 40 people. One moment they were breaking brick together, and the next they are running for their lives or buried underneath the rubble of the bombed buildings. And the worst part, the bombings do not stop. The aftermath of these bombings and
that's what it looks like when I fuck with the
there are
flooding.
no safe shelters left. There are no
Obviously,
safe zones and no
I'm not
safe
doing shit.
Every displacement that we've seen over the past weeks just pushing families further into desperation and deepening homelessness with the lack of sense of safety.
What happened was that all of a sudden we saw people running. We asked what's going on. People said it's evacuation for the building behind. The building was bombed and caused all this damage, and we could not take any of our belongings. There was no Hamas in the area, just business owners and stores.
So I'm just walking through the rubble, you easily realize this is not a humanitarian crisis. It's a dismantling of civilian life across the Gaza Strip. Every home that is destroyed, it's not just about the buildings that are being destroyed, it's the futures, the histories, as well as the dreams of people who once lived inside these homes. It's
Look, people want
a
a closer look because they want to see dead bodies because they're disgusting piece of shit, Jays.
A combination of enforced starvation and relentless attacks, Gaza is being made unlivable. One home and one neighborhood at a time. and the world must not look away. Hani Mahmoud, Al Jazeera from Gaza City, Palestine.
So, if both my hands are here, who's deleting comments? Gosh, that's weird. Almost like they're lying. Because that's all they... So now their new tactic is to delete their comments after they make them and then claim it's me doing it. Because that's all they can do. Right? They can't argue this stuff. And if anything, they want closer looks. They want to see it. They want to see the dead children. They're sick fucking people. These are the same pedos. Like, this is bottom of darkness. That's what this is. That's what this is telling you. This is people who grew up being raped ritualistically by their parents and their community leaders and whatnot. So they have no sense of empathy. They have no sense of right and wrong. It's been raped out of them. And that's what you're experiencing here. Oh, now I have a mod. Yep, I have a moderator doing it. Yep, because that's all I do is lie, especially when I'm reading the news. I like you guys' comments. I like when you guys point out how stupid you are. Shit doesn't bother me at all. Nobody ever says anything that fucking matters, so all it does is make me look better. Every single comment that you do makes me look better. And now somebody is erasing all the comments. It's not you guys. It's not you guys. It's just somebody else. And it's funny too how not all of the comments are being destroyed. Only a certain few. Only the people that are always here crying. Almost like they're working together. Almost like it's a conspiracy. Ooh, gee, I wonder. This is what they do, man. This is what these crazy goofy Jays do, man. They know they don't have anything that they can say. Oh, look, Karen's comments exist. Karen says still being booted, but yeah, it's us. You know, this is what desperation looks like, people. If they, I'm telling you, you know, I don't even have to tell you, just ask you, do you honestly think they're just sitting on this really good argument? They have this really good argument that could destroy everything I'm saying and, you know, prove Israel's right, prove the Jews are okay, all this other shit. They have that argument. They just refuse to make it and instead say these dumb things over and over again. Right? That makes sense? This is what happens when you oppose the system. And you truly do. I mean, isn't it strange again how Israel is pretending like Charlie Kirk was their great champion? Supposedly he was against it. He had started to change his mind, right? That's the narrative we're supposed to believe. I think that's a pretty big tell. You know, that's a pretty big thing right there where you have to ask yourself what you're seeing. Does what you're seeing make sense? when you know the history of Israel and how they respond to anything negative, anything questioning, you just immediately. Piers Morgan was doing one of his shows, and he was saying to one of the representatives how angry he was because he had been a 100% supporter of Israel and was only questioning the deaths of the kids. And why is he suddenly, the deaths of the children in Palestine? And so why is he suddenly being labeled anti-Semitic? And the guy was like, well, it wasn't what you were saying, it was how you were saying it to the woman, the representative, and blah, blah, just bullshit. But they immediately turned on him. So why is Charlie being paraded by them as some, we're going to dedicate knocking on heaven's door to him? With our rock fucking, I'm the leader of the delegation. Here, let me grab my rock fucking guitar and sing you guys some songs. That just makes so much sense. Well, we know that we could trust what you have to say, right, Miles? Karen says, competitive prizes heating up. Funny how Karen's comment isn't getting removed. Why isn't Karen's comment getting removed if there's some sort of, it's not you guys doing it? Why isn't the moderator getting rid of Karen's comment? Gosh, that's strangely coincidental, isn't it? Strangely coincidental, especially since I start calling you guys out on it, and then it starts happening. Must be something I'm doing. It's these crazy fucking friars, man. They're just too stupid. Isn't it funny how this started happening when I was reading about the 50 states, one Israel stuff? What a crazy coincidence. Almost like they're trying to provide a distraction. Instead of actually addressing what's being said, they're trying to distract. Isn't that strange how it just happens to sort of work out? It just seemingly works out that way? What a fucking crazy coincidence. I must be crazy. They sure seem to get mad when the receipts are provided. You know, when the proof is there, they're always claiming that they want proof, and I'm always providing proof. And every single time, it always seems to heat up. Must just be coincidence. The patron head chef hand glider. Yeah, paragliders and shit, why not? They're everywhere. Of course they are. They can make 30,000 bots at any given time. Just one of their organizations. Back in 2022. So I'm sure the technology has gotten a lot better. They were just given another like $150 million or some shit. I don't even remember I don't even keep track of those fantasy figures anymore because it doesn't even fucking matter. Where's all that money going? They just got busted with that whole $8,000 per month to the media influencers who are willing to do this exact thing. It just came out. Actually, it's been like a month or two. So they're going to pay the influencers, like the big influencers, but Literally the Act IL Wikipedia page that's all locked up and can't be edited. They're just lying. It's just anti-Semitism. It's anti-Semitic lies. Isn't that silly? This is their newest tactic. We'll see how long it lasts. This is basically blocking the chat, turning off the chat so I can't see it, but not actually doing that particular thing. And as I keep saying, if there was some argument that they had that was going to make me be wrong, they would absolutely say it. The oh yeah profile just proved that they're on a keyboard, not on a phone. Just laid on the keyboard. It's pretty sad that your own system thinks your comments are so stupid that they're deleting them. Because instead of it being obvious that you can't delete or you can't debate me and you can't debunk anything I'm saying, this way you can say, oh, well, we did, but it got deleted. Oh, well, we did delete it, but it got deleted. We did debate you, but it got deleted. Of course, no, I'm not missing shit. They're not saying anything important. I did not remove my comments, you liar. Yep, I'm lying. I'm doing it. And it again, it's only the people that are involved in the group. It's only the J crew. Gosh, that's amazing. That is an amazing coincidence. Yep. Oh, I modded that guy. Yep. You're a mod now. New person who just showed up. Because again, I want your comments to be deleted, right? I don't thoroughly enjoy how stupid you make yourself look. And in turn prove my comment, prove my perspective correct. Right? Because it's not like it's a whole bunch of shit that's getting deleted that's just proving me wrong and all that. This is our 100-year haulover. Yep. Paranoid delusions. Yep. It's me being crazy. It's not literally happening right now. I'm just making all this up. I'm actually in a chair somewhere, a vegetable, thinking I'm doing this. Which literally could be true, I guess. Or I'm in my little matrix pod. Oh, man. It's amazing. If just regular people doing this is so dangerous that they put in this much effort, imagine if we were all doing it, right? If they pre-recorded. I'm doing a pre-recorded live. 50 states, 1 Israel. Oh, let's say goodbye to Bobby, who joined YouTube 26 minutes ago. 26 minutes ago, and he just happened to find this page. Gosh, that's weird. What a coincidence. And he came right away to fly the pedo flag. Highly likely We're not reading intellectually enlightened individuals writing these columns. Of course not. They're fucking inbred dumbass friars, man. It's just that simple. I love when people try to say this whole just debate, like I'm stopping you from making the debate. It's my fault you can't say anything. This is a coincidence, totally. It's all just coincidences, guys. Don't worry about it. Multiple requests to debate. Yeah. Because again, you're too stupid to understand what's being said. What's preventing you from debating? What's preventing you from actually debating something? Hey, you're forgetting to delete your comments. You're forgetting to delete shit. Today, there are advanced vessels used by natives around for multi-purposes. Oh, man. What a dumbass. 50 states, 1 Israel. Come on, tell me why that's a good thing. Tell me why what Netanyahu said wasn't an absolute lie. Everything he said in that was a fucking lie. There were no Israelis killed on October 7th, nor were any taken hostages. Oh, now my mod's only deleting some of them. Before it was all of them, but now it's some of them. Gotcha. Right? Because they get so worked up, they forget to delete. So now it's like, oh, it's my fault again. See, he won't debate. Yeah. What is there supposed to be some debate about? You just said something stupid. Where's the debate supposed to be? It's amazing. The point is always to change the law so we can kill pedophiles and we eliminate the Jake power structure that clearly so desperately threatened by me that they come here and spend hours on my shit every day. Pretty obvious. The reason why some people express disbelief in some, who gives a fuck what you're talking about? You want to debate submarines, right? Because my belief in submarines is way more important than the genocide that's happening, than the 50 states, 1 Israel shit. Yeah. I want to debate you. I want to debate you. The earth is flat. Good call. I'd say the earth is not a spinning ball flying through space. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's not a spinning ball flying through space. What in the actual fuck? Look at how stupid they are, Karen. It's fantastic. The earth is an oval. No, it's an oblique spheroid. And every picture we've ever seen from NASA is a lie, apparently. You can know one in time to the blah, 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 blah. Shut up, you dumb fucking chosen broad. This one's irritating. I know I say I like providing an escape for, as long as they're here and they're busy, but she's just so stupid. She's just so stupid. And I know that blocking her would really irritate her because she's such an entitled, J American princess. It's amazing, man. It's amazing how easy this is as far as proving it all goes and all that. The only frustrating part is the censorship. But other than that, like, there's no challenge provided. There's nothing. It's just crybaby shit. It's just distractions. 50 states, 1 Israel, 250 delegates, all that shit. Like, that is so fucking important. And you want to pretend like anything else outweighs that I believe personally. It's just amazing. You're so stupid, yet so entitled that you honestly think that you're making yourself look good and me look bad. When it's obvious. If you could debate me, if anything I was saying was wrong, you would focus on it. You're just not. Yep, let me get some documents and some unedited pictures. Let me just go get you that. Let's not read you what they say word for word in their articles and on their websites, and let's not use the information that we're given and just break it down with our own mental capabilities. Let's let somebody tell us what to think. Liberal, race, liberal. Oh, you're a liberal. You want liberties. I hate liberties. So I ain't no liberal. Gotta believe Jesus. It's just so weird to me how stupid Christians are. It really does shock me. Like, you don't even have to look hard to see that Christianity is the slave religion perpetuated by the Jews. And they put their Old Testament in the front, so you have to read through their shit first. And that's not the right one. The New Testament, that's much softer and provides you with, hey, as long as you do what you're told, as long as you don't necessarily care about this life, when you die, oh boy, the party starts. You'll be lucky you're a goyim then, because you get to go to heaven. It's amazing. How do you not see that? How do you not see that the entire book is all Jewish fairy tale? All the characters are Jewish. What are you missing there? Even Jesus was a Jew. It's not for you. You're one of the Gentiles, the separate group. The Gentiles over there, not us Gentiles, those Gentiles. 2,800 slaves each, 2,800 Gentile slaves each. That's who you are. What part don't you get? Wrong. You're Y-O-U-R wrong. Y-O-U-R wrong. The Jewish is the Torah and completely different. Yep, that's what it is. What's the Old Testament then, buddy? Come on. Let's rub those brain cells together. I just want to be able to afford a burner. Dumbass nonsense. Grammar police. Yes. If you're going to be in an intelligent conversation, you better make sure, especially if you're going to call me stupid, that you get your basic yours right. But the proof is English isn't your first language, right? And especially when it comes to the yours and the theirs and the twos and stuff, foreigners always have a hard time with that. So that would explain why supposedly really smart, educated adults would have such a hard time with this really basic third grade kind of thing. Because they're not English speakers. They're not Americans. Most of these are Israelis. The fucking computer you're using will tell you the right word to use and you still don't get it right. Because you're really, really stupid. And you're doing everything you can to avoid the fact that you don't know things. You're just stupid. It's the Torah. Yeah, the Old Testament's not the Jewish book. The Bible's not the Jewish book. Right? Well, tell me this. Adults teach kids to make bombs. Does that make them... Adults teach kids to make bombs, huh? Where's that taking place? My computer says I'm in Israel. Of course. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're a Matitza Bapay pedo piece of shit. Literally. It doesn't get any worse than that. Your little Brit Milah bris parties where you all stand around and watch some Matitza Bapay action taking place. You are horrible, disgusting people. Even I care about your children more than you do. And so I suggest you go check out the Israel Hayom article. The website is called Israel Hayom, Hayom. The article is called Bottom of Darkness. And it's interesting how they make it really difficult to read. It'll keep kicking you out. It'll keep moving you around. Like, this isn't how a website's supposed to act. But if you just, tough your way through it, you'll read about how they just ritualistically sexually abuse their own all over Israel. It's this huge problem, extremely well documented. And if they can do that to their own kids, imagine what they can do to everyone else. That link will be in the description, along with a link to the free download. www.the-bilderberg, BILDERBERG-group.com. It's free. All we ask is that you share it with somebody, but click download. It'll ask you how much you want to pay. You put 0 and it's free. Again, just share it with somebody. Play it for somebody in the car or whatever. Just play it for somebody. There's going to be a link to Hollywoodism, the most important film ever made. See, again, these are the receipts. I'm providing you with receipts for everything I say, and these things aren't like mine. I didn't make Hollywoodism. If I did, it would be panned. It'd be considered that's anti-Semitic tropes. You can't say all that, blah, blah, blah. It's all about how you could basically say the American dream is the Jewish dream, according to one of the princesses that was a descendant of the Hollywood moguls. And how it doesn't say how they created Hollywood, but that they did create Hollywood, and that they used Hollywood to not just create the United States that they wanted to live in, but the world they wanted to live in. They used the television pictures to... I agree, Karen, it is well worth a few bucks. It definitely helps out. They used the television to manipulate everyone. And what you think your history is, what you think your political landscape is, what you think anything is, it's all a manipulation by them. And they brag about it. Go watch it. If I made the word-for-word remake of that video, and just, instead of saying us and we, I said they and them, it would be, it would just be, oh my, I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you, anti-Semitic tropes. And it would be so bad. So go watch that. Go get your free download. Go read Israel Hayom. There'll be 3 links to the Facebook page so you can watch the music videos for Donald Trump Hates America, COVID Sauce, and a sleight of hand job, which is actually about what's happening today. I wrote it a while ago. We produced it a while ago, but it was because I knew this was going to happen. I literally wrote it as the prediction song. So go listen to it and see how wrong I was. Go check all those out. Like them, share them with people. Subscribe to the page. Like, share, and sub on this page, because that helps out a lot. Morning, how are you? That helps out a lot. Really appreciate it. Most importantly, more than anything, pedophiles, kill yourself.